As the President of the Institution of Kenya,
Steel, how are you? Very good. You are doing more steel.
Let me convey to you the appreciation from the 5,000 delegates from all around the world for the hospitality generously offered by the people of Kenya, by your government, and for having showcased to the world how Kenya is addressing its urban-related challenges, the magical Kenya. As you know, with the support of your government, member states at the Assembly ratified 10 resolutions and adopted the ministerial declaration titled A Sustainable Urban Future Through Inclusive and Effective Multilateralism, Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in Time of Global Crisis. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, like other countries in Africa, Kenya's future is urban. Out of the total population of 53 million, more than 32% now live in cities and urban areas. Kenya is also experiencing an urban growth of 3.7% per annum. The challenge of our time is to harness the power of urbanization to align the needs of the people, the economy, and the city. We are at the moment in time that will never come again. It is the moment to get urbanization right, to make sure balance between rural and urban needs.
Economic giants of the world, Your Excellency, all relied on engineering to develop and grow their economies. For instance, when a country like China planned infrastructural development during the 20th century, they noted the importance of revolutionary engineering in their plan. History shows that they sent their engineers as understudies to the then economic giants. When the time came to actualize their dream, China had the necessary skills, and the development witnessed in the Asian economic giant from the late 20th century to the century is a testament to this. The aspiration of the African continent through Agenda 2063, locally through our Kenya Vision 2030, as well as the more recent Kenya Kwanza Plan, the plan, have set their pillars on infrastructural development to spur economic growth, create employment, as well as improve the quality of life for the citizens. The African continent should be able to share engineering skills that will spur economic growth within our regions. From conversations across the globe, Africa is the next big thing, and the only way to take our place is through advancing our engineering for economic development.
In most cases, they apply their mind to the work they do. They are intelligent people, but they drive the economy of this country in a way that has never been appreciated as it ought to be. So your presence here makes them feel appreciated, Your Excellency, and that you understand the issues they are supposed to do. Your Excellency, you've been told that the future of under your leadership, you have instructed it, Your Excellency, we must do massive infrastructure development, but using public-private partnership. Your Excellency, you know that for the benefit of these people, we want to work on a highway from Mombasa to Malaba. Honorable President, Your Excellency, to make it sure that we use private sector. Our argument in the ministry is that as we bring private people to partner with us from out of the country, we will be strict to ensure that local partnership is adhered to, and that professionals from the local level are not being given fringe jobs, Your Excellency, so that after we finish such projects, whether it's building of the highway, whether it's the partnership we want to expand the port, whether it is the PPP we want to do with our airports, Your Excellency, whether it is the extension of SGR, God willing, if we find a model of resources, we do so. These engineers are going to be most critical players in making sure that this project, and we have committed ourselves under your instructions, myself and Engineer Mbugwa, to make sure that all these projects, we adhere to the principle of 40%. Not just in terms of tender being just given, but also professionals who are going to play a critical role in that sector. On the internship part, We plan to move the interns from current 200 per year, and God willing, Your Excellency, in the next 2 years, we should have moved to 1,000. That will give our young graduates opportunity to serve, but also to be properly mentored so that they can be able to serve our country and become responsible engineers that are going to serve our nation. The Washington Accord that has been mentioned, that we are having the mentorship of Malaysia and Pakistan, and we really appreciate them, is critical. I actually hear you all the time when you make your speech that we want to make our skills global so that our engineers, our professionals can play a role internationally. That accreditation that you had, that we are being assisted by Malaysia, that Nigeria has just got it, is very critical in ensuring that Kenyan professionals are serving abroad. Lastly, Your Excellency, is that you've heard something about, we are launching today the Engineers Registration Portal and the Project Registration Portal.
The affordable housing plan, our Minister for Lands and Housing is right here. That whole ecosystem around our housing plan, from quantity surveyors, structural engineers, all manner of professionals in between, we will need them to underwrite our plan on universal access to affordable housing. That is part of our agenda for the next 5 years. Our commitment on ICT and the digital superhighway pillar. I was having a conversation yesterday with Google and MasterCard, and they were informing me that they need software engineers between 500 and 1,000 every year if we were to make meaning of our digital economy going into the future. Again, that is the space we will be working with you on actualizing our aspirations and making sure that we position not just Kenya, but we position our continent appropriately as a continent of the future. Not only do we need engineering professions to guide the implementation of programs and projects under our plan, but we also have to go deeper. Competitive efficiency is essential for transformation and calls for constant innovation. I mean, the engineer of yesterday, if you don't update your skills, if you don't update your qualifications, it is very easy to be obsolete, especially in an ecosystem, a world that is evolving at the rate at which we are. For example, I remember having a conversation like, I think 9 years ago, with engineers from the Ministry of Roads. And we were asking them critical questions. And it took us almost a year of argument on how we can deliver our road program, but with a bit of innovation and creativity. Eventually, our engineers came through and they developed what we eventually called our low volume seal component of our roads. Engineer Mosonik is here. Engineer Mainge, I have a lot of respect for that gentleman because together with Engineer Mosonik, we were able to unlock 10,000 kilometers of road that we have built under our low volume seal road program. That is what innovation, creativity, thinking out of the box can bring on board. And I encourage you as engineers in the profession where you are to continuously innovate, continuously work with others. And I'm happy that there is mentorship going on from Malaysia, from other areas, and we are all encouraging and working with each other to see how we can better make sure that there is mutual recognition of qualifications, of skills, and of competencies across the board so that we can create a global workforce. There should be no doubt about government's commitment in the promotion and development of Kenyan engineering as a decisive component of our development. I encourage you to use this convention to define a clear roadmap for raising the overall engineering standard and capacity and making a catalytic contribution to the development of our country and to the management of our plan. There is so much for you to do, and you must quickly get ready to start working with us. I am grateful that I have this opportunity to talk to a professional body, people who are involved in many aspects of our development. And you can count on us as we designed what we consider to be the next plan to get our country moving. All the components that we put in place need the support of professional bodies, need the support of engineers in all their aspects, whether it is our digital superhighway, whether it is our agriculture and value addition and agro-processing, whether it is the component of universal health coverage, and even the component that we are looking at in housing. We will need a whole array of engineering capacity and professionals to support this endeavor as we drive our country into the future. Let me just say one final thing, that as I reflect on what we are doing, I am reminded that in this year's budget, for example, we are spending $5 billion, almost 650 billion Kenya shillings, in our education, in our training, from primary school to university. We must be careful that as we spend this amount of money yearly, we must be careful to think about the output. What happens when all these men and women go through our education, our training, acquiring knowledge, acquiring skills, acquiring competencies? We must equally have a sound plan on how they are going to deploy the knowledge, the expertise, the skills, and the competencies they acquire in plowing back and developing our country. And that is why it is important for us to have a plan around jobs, around opportunities for entrepreneurship, around opportunities for doing business. That is as important as the plan we have on training, on educating, on ensuring that we have the best human capital. And as Kenyans, we must continuously reflect on how we want to do this and the means by which we're going to do it.